All right, hello and welcome to another edition of the Spotter Stand. Coming at you this week live from Daytona International Raceway. We ran the night race this week at Daytona. Once again in the booth, we've got BSR Pockets, BSR Hot Rod, BSR Chevy Chase joining us this week, and also special guest BSR Brian Boyles. How's everybody doing today?
What's up, everybody? Doing great. Great to be
Hey,
back
people,
on the
how's it going?
spotter stand. Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's good to see you. We've already got a few people tuning in live. How you doing out there, Bob? Good to see you.
What's up,
Uh,
Bob?
like to start off this week by wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. You know, it just passed this week. Hope everybody had a good week and a good celebration. Maybe got to spend some time with your family, either see some fireworks or shoot some off yourself.
Yeah, it's great to be able to celebrate Independence Day on the greatest country on the planet. Hope everybody had a good time.
I did a little bit more work in the off week on this scene you're seeing right here. I got the outline of the big monitor to look a little better. It doesn't blend in with the black quite as much at the top, and I redid all the scenes that are looping by there on the left. We've got basically all the pics that have been sent in up there at the top. You know, either be pics of all the drivers when we've met or sent in pics, or prizes, which have been quite a few that have sent in. You'll see those click by in that top square. Most all of the cup renders. Anybody who's won a race so far in the Cup Series, in the Gen 6 mod, or even in the Team Series, most of those scrolling by in that next window. And we've got all the trucks down there in the next window, and the Dirt Series all down there on the bottom. Yeah, and those will scroll by the whole time we go through the week here. Everything that happened last week, what's coming up next week.
Well, I'm going to tell you, there are so many prizes coming, being awarded, and people getting to enjoy some drunken cow jerky. It's just almost impossible for me to keep up with. I'm going to have to really dedicate myself to making a complete list and staying on track of everything that's going on because I'm getting kind of lost. I probably forgot a few or something like that, but we really appreciate everybody and their support coming out. We appreciate the support we get from Drunken Cow Jerky and all the rest of our sponsors, and we're glad to be able to provide something for the people who support us and our sim racing and everything that we do.
That's right. And we've got a few more picks to share with you guys this week. We're going to start out with this pick of the number 19 Xfinity car, BSR Furco. It's a great looking car there. You want to tell us about this, Pockets?
Yeah, I was approached by Innovative Vapors. They are an official reseller of Drunken Cow Jerky and a friend of Mark and Richard Heyman, and we were approached by them as they had some interest in uh, having their brand, their company being represented in our sim racing that we do, and we were more than happy to accommodate them. And how this works is that Axel Foley will be driving the Innovative Vapor cars and trucks on Wednesday and Thursday's Drunken Cow Jerky series. But since Axel has personal commitments that leave him out on Friday night, I recruited a great driver, great person, the number 19 of Steve Furco, to pick up the duties of representing the Innovative Vapors in the number 19 Innovative Vapors Dodge. There, our good friend Wings does great, outstanding work. This guy's been painting cars since the day this sim took off, and he is just one of the best in the business. And we appreciate him for doing that for us, and we're proud to get the word out to Innovative Vapors for everybody. You can find them on Facebook at Innovative Vapors, and just another thing that we do to try to legitimize our simulated racing into the real world of racing, and we're proud to do that. And thanks to Furco for representing and driving this car on Friday nights in the NXS series.
And I'd like to add that the reason for this is pretty plain and simple. I received a note from Bomb Squad Racing page through Facebook this morning that Bomb Squad Racing reached 1.8 1,000 people and had 486 engagements this week. That's pretty awesome for this little group.
Yeah, it is, and that's part of our. I was telling somebody the other day that we simulate racing, and we're very serious about the simulation side of it, and having real world sponsors and real people who support us, and for us to be able to market them to people on Facebook who may not have heard of them or anything about that. That makes the line between simulation and real racing a little less clear, to where we try to do just that. We try to make our simulated racing as real as it possibly can, and that's one of the ways we do it, and we're proud to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that is a great looking car. And Wings again, awesome job on all the paint jobs that he does. I love that logo in the bottom right with the dude and the paintbrush and the paint can over his head. That's what I feel like when I'm trying to paint a car. I'm stumbling around with the blinders on basically, but somehow I managed to get it done.
Yeah, a while back, I told Wings that he needed to make himself a little logo to put on these cars as just kind of an artist signature, because this is art. Anybody that does that stuff, that does these paint jobs and renders and stuff like that, if you've ever tried it, you'll find out real quick that that is a form of art. That is a piece of art that you are looking at, and we just are able to integrate it in the game through files, and transfer the files into the game and put it into the track and put it into the game and run it. But it all starts from scratch, the drawing board, so to speak, to be able to integrate it fully into the game. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. You're looking at hours with the three cars that he did for us. That's hours of sitting there, meticulous artwork that he's done, and only those people who have ever tried to do it can truly appreciate the value of what that represents. And that's part of the reason that we feel like that we're so proud, because we have people like Wings and Scar and everybody else that pitches in and helps on a moment's notice. There's never any charge. There's never any mention of monetary value or anything. This all comes from the heart. This is done by people who love what we do, and they are more than happy to give a part of themselves to to our objective here, and we can't thank them enough.
Yeah. Now on to some of the prizes. We've seen some pics of BSR Brain Fade here recently. He was part of that Ghost team that won last season and received the T-shirts and the Drunken Cow jerky. Here is a more recent pic of Brain Fade, 2 bags of jerky and a Drunken Cow jerky sticker there. I believe these were for the 3rd place finish in the overall season of the 10-race Brian Boyle's Friday Night Dirt Series. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I was waiting for somebody to confirm that with me. So yes, these
And
are
and
the
go
two prizes from Brian and Kathy Voiles over at Voiles Trucking. Just another example of the great sponsors that we have that are willing to give their time and their effort and their hard-earned money to not only give the racers here great prizes, but in turn they support our sponsor. Those Voiles Trucking bought that jerky for the Voiles Trucking Dirt Series. That's the 3rd place prize right there. Awarded it to our good friend Brain Fade. So that is a win-win for everybody involved, and we really appreciate it.
and I have one more thing here. The second place overall winner was Mr. Pockets, which we have not got any pictures of or heard of what you have done with yours.
Bob Tompkins, who is in our chat box right now, was the winner of my 3 bags of jerky. I believe that's correct. Yes,
Yeah,
I
I believe
sent them
that
to
is
Bob.
correct. Yeah.
Yes, but because Bob won the drawing as part of the program that Texan and I both have, that we stream all of our races, and if we win, you win. And Bob was the most recent recipient of my 3 bags of jerky that I won for 2nd place, in the Voiles Truck and Dirt Series. So, Bob, if you get a chance, I'm pretty sure those 3 bags of jerky are gone by now. But if you get a chance and you've got any of it left, or you even got an empty bag, if you would, help post a picture up there and let people see what we do for people who just watch our streams. I mean, we appreciate all the support we get, especially the people who watch these streams, because without people like Bob and James and Virgil and all the other people that are there, every time I turn that stream on, I call those guys my crew chief, my pit crew, because I don't feel the same without those guys there. It's always kind of like coming home. Those 3 guys are going to be there rooting you on, and we really appreciate them being there. And that's the reason we do that. If it wasn't for those guys, we wouldn't really have a reason to do it. But they keep us going, and they keep our streams alive, and we appreciate it.
Now, the winner of the Dirt Championship last season was Larry Yeager, BSR Hot Rod, of course. And we've already seen some of the pics of his jerky that he received, but this week we've got some great pics from Larry for you. This is a pic of Larry's dog. He didn't get any wolf bites in that batch right there, and the dog apparently doesn't care if it's wolf bites or not. You can see that's a bag of teriyaki. It looks like right there that he's getting ready to go after. And in the next pic here, you can see he's pretty much got it open. Looks like he's staring down inside the bag. I know there's something down in there. I know there's something in there. And we've got another one here. He's trying to rip into it right there in the third pick. And this fourth one here, this is my favorite one. This one's great. You can see him right there, full on, nose all the way in the bag. You can see there's just a little bit left in the bottom there, but he's determined, man. I'm sure he got that out of there.
Yes, he did. And, yep. Here's the deal. Usually, when I order jerky, I get wolf bites for him, of course. And well, being I won 5 bags, I elected not to get any wolf bites. And yeah, I probably should have got a bag of wolf bites for him, but he did eat a piece or two of the teriyaki, so he wasn't left all the way out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In my defense, I would have sent Larry's dog some wolf bites, but I just asked him what he wanted. He told me, and I sent him what he wanted. So I think even he will remember next time. I can't forget my dog and the great wolf bites from Drunken Cow Jerky, because Larry's like me and everybody else that has a pet. That's a part of his family, and you can't leave your family out when you win a prize.
No, yep, definitely not. I just overlooked him this time, and yeah, I was sorry when I got it that I didn't get a bag for him. So yeah, 10 poor pockets.
I'm sure you shared some of that with him, though.
Yes, he got some teriyaki. I won't give him any of the ghost. I only got ghost and teriyaki, but I won't give him the ghost. Ghost is too hot for him.
Well, on to the racing this last week. Of course, it was the 4th of July week, so a lot of the series were off. There was no truck race on Wednesday on the 4th of July, and the weekend we pretty much took off this past weekend. We did race last Sunday, though, in the Nitro Series, and so we were at Axel Foley Speedway. I'm not sure exactly where this track came from. Axel got it up and did some editing to it, and he's named it Axel Foley Speedway. From what I hear, it's some pretty good racing. I know Chevy Chase put up a setup for everybody to be able to use, and Chevy Chase also brought home the victory at Axel Foley Speedway on Sunday night.
Yes, it looks like he dominated pretty good. He led the most laps with 90. Monty Keller got second. Axel Foley got third. BSR Magoo got fourth. And rounding out the top 5 was our BSR Josh.
BSR Josh.
Number 5.
Good little group there.
On a Sunday night. Let's take a look at the points here in this series thus far. It looks like Monty Keller up at the top of the board in the Nitro Series. Chevy coming in second place. Looks like he moved up 4 spots with that win, down by 7. Axel Foley in third, down by 10. BSR Texan, myself, down in fourth, down by 35. And Hot Rod rounding out the top 5, down by 50.
Yeah, and I unfortunately this series goes on the night that I'm off from my duties here at Bomb Squad Racing, and I have no earthly idea where y'all are racing tonight. That I think they're rescheduling for
There,
tomorrow or something.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, they rained down tonight. Gonna run tomorrow. And I didn't get to run last week due to prior commitments, but I'm looking forward to running tomorrow night.
I, I believe the track is Martinsville, is it not?
Martinsville, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and they have moved it to tomorrow night. Is that correct?
yes, they
Yes,
have.
it was
So
on posted on Facebook.
the
Yes.
the Sunday Nitro race that would normally be on tonight will be held tomorrow night on Monday, regular time. Practice opens at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and qualify 8:05 Central, 9:05 Eastern tomorrow night for the Nitro Series.
Yes, that is correct.
As we said earlier, the Truck Series was off this week, so no race to run. There won't be any change in the points, no change in the bonus points, but we do have a race in this series next week. Where are we going to be this coming up week in the Truck Series, Larry?
We are at Kentucky on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All three major series are running Kentucky this week.
Three Night Stand in the Bluegrass State. That's a great track. That'll produce some absolutely outstanding racing. Everyone always looks forward to going to that track because it's just such a great speedway track that produces a lot of action. And we look forward to being there in all three of the Drunken Cow Jerky series this coming week.
Yes, and two races left till the chase starts in the Truck Series.
Man, time is getting away from us, isn't it? It's rolling around headed that
rolling
way,
on
ain't it?
down the road. Yep.
Now on Thursday,
Magoo will be representing us at Kentucky Speedway. I believe he's going to the race.
I believe he is going to the race. Going to meet up with our good friend Rick Craddock there, who always has the press passes. So we'll be looking for probably some good pictures
Yeah, that's
next
what I was
week.
thinking. We'll have some live coverage from the Kentucky Raceway for next week on the spotter stand, maybe.
Absolutely.
yeah, hopefully they can get those in before Sunday. If not, then we'll definitely have some picks the week after that for you. Now on Thursday night, we did run Daytona, Daytona night, second Daytona race of the season, and this was a pretty good race. I think we had a couple cautions at the very end. Blown motor, I believe, were both of them. Just at getting towards the end of the race, guys, they want to put that tape on, have that extra little advantage over the other drivers who aren't taped up. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're going to lose that motor. I believe poor boy lost an engine very late in the race. We had it was probably about a 4 or 5 lap shootout, was it, at the end? And
Yeah, something like that.
I think he went to 80 tape, and it just didn't last. Blew up on the next to the last lap, or the last lap, right before the last lap started.
Yeah, both of those cautions were caused by blown motors. Jimmy Dale blew one right before that led to that sequence of a restart. That was the first restart. I mean, I think we had what 2 or 3 green flag pit stops there. Outstanding race. I mean, for Daytona, and Daytona's wide and it's a super speedway, but it's not as wide as Talladega. So when you go 3 wide there, you're really taking your life and your points and everything else in your own hands, and you have to trust your fellow drivers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, those last closing laps of that race, somebody said, yeah, they were 3 wide, 4 deep, and I said we were 3 wide, everybody deep. Everybody in there was 3 wide. Everybody had them a spot there in that 3 wide situation, and as the intensity ramped up towards the end, one little bobble, one mistake, but man, what an amazing finish that was. I mean, that was just top notch super speedway racing at Daytona. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more. We had everything. We had the excitement, the drama, we had mechanical failures. I mean, it was a great race.
Yeah, it was a run back to the finish line there. I believe about four or so, or actually most of us had crossed the line when that last caution came out. We had to race back to the finish, and it was a very close run. And I ended up getting my very first win this season in the Cup Series at Daytona. I got a little push, a little help from Chevy Chase. Was able to just barely get around Rick Johnson, who raced me really clean. You know, he could have rubbed me a little bit or done something to try to scrub my speed off, but he held his line and raced me clean. And I just barely beat him to the end there and got my first win of the season.
Now say that again. That's your first win in the Thursday Night Cup Series?
Yes, sir. All season long, that is my first
I
win in
did
this series.
not know that. I cannot believe that that was your first win, but what a win it was. Congratulations. I mean, that's a great place to win, and I'm gonna tell you that's a tough place to win too because of the, you know, these BSR guys. We started out a long time ago. We were a super speedway. They used to call us plate monkeys, Dega heads, you know, all kinds, because we were super speedway specialists. And when these super speedway races, like this one in the middle of the season, you know, in the summer rolls around to Daytona, you know that the best of the best are fixing to take the super speedway track there at Daytona and give it all they got. So if you win this race on the regularly scheduled series race at Daytona, when you win that race, you've done something. That is a victory that you'll remember and be proud of for years to come, because they don't give those trophies right there away. I can assure you they don't give the W just for free for that race right there. So that's a major accomplishment for the 201 Drunken Cow Jerky original team, and our buddy Texan Duck Butter Jones pulls off the victory. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great win for Texan.
You got our top five in that race for us there, Hot Rod?
Oh, yes, I do, always. Texan won. BSR Chevy Chase led the most laps, got second. Rick Johnson got third. Momo got fourth. And Mr. BSR Pockets rounds out the top five.
Yeah, like I said, we're headed to this series, Drunken Cow Jerky Thursday Night Cup Series, rolls towards the Bluegrass State for next Thursday night at Kentucky. So we look forward to everybody showing up, and we'll do what we do next Thursday night in the DrunkenCowJerky.com Cup Series at Kentucky.
Yeah, I believe we're about 5 races into this second segment now. As we take a look at the points here in this Cup Series, BSR Chevy Chase still holding the top of the board with Rick Craddock in second down by 5. BSR Pockets in third down by 12. Brain Fade in fourth down by 15. And it looks like Terry Scott rounding out the top 5, actually tied for fourth, also down by 15.
Yeah, there again, you're looking at that. You're looking at that bonus point standings. That this schedule, this segment, whenever it's over, the top 5 are going to the first person's going to get 2 bonus points. The rest of them, top 5 is going to get a single bonus point to carry into the chase with them. So you can see they're still scratching and fighting for every position and trying to remain amongst the top 5 in the segment. And Chevy Chase is on a tear. You're going to see his name mentioned a lot. He's dedicated a lot of time and effort towards all these series, and it's showing. The time that he has spent is paying off for him.
Absolutely, he's always right there. I believe he was the second place finisher at the end of segment 1, if I'm not mistaken. So
no, yeah, I won segment 1.
Did you win segment 1?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Yep.
Yeah, he knows what he's won, and what you ain't gonna slip nothing past him. I hate talking about him like he's not here, but yeah, he's here. And Chevy, good job. You're having an outstanding season, and I know that you're hoping to keep this momentum moving forward as the schedule moves forward. And congratulations to the success you've had so far.
Well, with the racing getting as competitive as it is, it might behoove anybody that's in the points to look at who's in front of them, who's behind them, and race accordingly, because I've had to do that this year because the competition is fierce.
That is absolutely correct, because I have somebody who is he's on my list, and I'm every time I look at the standings, there he is. He's kind of the proverbial thorn in my side, and that would be my friend, the driver of the number 49 Carolina Reapers sponsored car of Brain Fade. It just seems like every week I'm looking, where's Brain? I gotta beat Brain to keep myself solidly in either the position I'm in, not to lose a position or to gain a position. It's always that 49 car. So that's my story of my series and my schedule of how I'm racing. I'm always looking at the top guys, but I got to fight who I can fight at the time. You can't fight everybody at the same time. You gotta kind of, just like you said, look and see who you need to be racing with. And for me, my personal story is that 49 car, and I can always count on him to race me good and clean and fair. And that's what makes it a lot of fun, is to get on a track with a good quality driver like the number 49 Brain Fade. And then we're still looking at that standings, and I'm sure he'll still be the thorn in my side next week and weeks to come.
Now, I got to put these points back up for just a second here. I got to see with that victory, I only moved up one spot there, it looks like. 'Cause you guys recall, I missed a race earlier in the season here in this Cup Series, which is rare for me. I overslept and missed a race, and I think I was all the way back to somewhere in the teens back there after that race, and I've slowly made my way back up. It looks like to ninth place. I'm still 36 points back, and still it looks like, wow, 21 points off of that top five. So I've still got some work to do here over the next few races to try to make my way. If I'm going to make my way back up in that top five and get one more bonus point.
And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but have you noticed the complete lack of sympathy for you in that race, and where you are in the standings and everything? It's been relatively crickets whenever anybody talks about you missing that race, because they're looking at those standings and it's kind of a sigh of relief when they thought, man, I'm kind of glad he did oversleep and miss that race, or you would be a factor in there. But yeah, the lack of sympathy that you're getting for that has not gone unnoticed, I can assure you.
But you know where the lack of sympathy comes from, because he says, on my rare occasion, I overslept. Did you notice
Well,
he
I
threw
mean, on
that
my
out
rare
there?
occasion, I overslept and actually missed the race. I mean, when's the last time you remember missed a cup race or a truck race or a Xfinity series race,
Okay,
Oh,
I'll give you those
absolutely.
three. Team
Absolutely.
series is where you usually miss.
I I tell you when you need to start worrying is that when you're running late and that phone doesn't ring or you
Yeah.
don't get any text. That's when you'll know that all the concerned that everybody's truly concerned, and they're saying, no, don't call him, let him sleep, we need him to miss because he's going to beat us if we don't. So
Oh,
yeah, that
oh yeah. I'm sure by the time we're getting down to two, three races left in it before the segment ends, if I'm not there, nobody's gonna be calling. My phone's not gonna be ringing.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm going to call just because I appreciate the competition level that you bring to it. And I understand how it is that sometimes the real world that we live in conflicts with the simulated world that we enjoy and have as our hobby. So I always like I understand, and I always like to give people that chance to be able to get in there and compete. But yeah, everybody knows where you would be if you hadn't missed that one race, and I don't think very many people are feeling sorry for you, because had you been there, they'd probably be behind you right now. So
Uh,
they're enjoying this rare opportunity to be ahead of you.
I see Brain Paint's comment out there. You need a plan, Texan, but don't lose any sleep over it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, well, you look at it this way, you probably lost between 37 and 40, maybe even 40, 40 some points. So, yeah, that's a big hit.
Well, on
Oh,
to on.
Yes, and that's a lot. That's a lot to recover from.
well, and here's
That's
the
about
other
what I'm
thing.
down. 30,
And
36
here's
points.
here's the other thing to consider too. If you are going to miss a race, this is the time in the schedule. I mean, that's the way we designed it, because we know that people have real world commitments, and they can't, some people can't commit to some of these things due to personal obligations, family obligations, stuff like that. So if you're gonna miss, now's the time, because when we roll into that chase in those last 10 races, there are no excuses. There is nothing you can do but do your best, because that's what it's going to take to bring home some of these wonderful prizes from Drunken Cow Jerky, and the golden helmet from Real Tech and Rick Craddock, and all of our sponsors that go completely above and beyond to give us the prizes that everybody shoots for at the end of the year. So now's the time. So you're okay. That one bonus point, it could be a factor. I don't foresee it as being a factor, but this is the time, if you needed to miss a race, that you did. So I have confidence in your driving ability and the success you've had in the past to overcome that.
Well, on to Friday night. We also raced Daytona in the Xfinity Series. Another great race. A lot of fun. A lot of green flag pit stops. And in the Xfinity, it was BSR SS Joba bringing home his first victory in the Friday night Xfinity Series in that number 56 Call of Duty Ghost machine.
Yes. And BSR Josh got second place. Brian Wills, with a great run, got third place. BSR Momo got fourth place, and rounding out the top five was BSR Hot Rod.
I think now is the time for us to explain the official standings of that race, because the driver of the number 38 Drunken Cow Jerky hot car initially finished second, but was moved to the end of the longest line for inadvertently getting into his friend in the 83 BSR Scar and causing the last caution. And that regulated me to some place at the back. I don't even know where I finished, but I took a big hit in the
14th.
points.
Yes,
14th.
ended up finishing 14th. You did lead the most laps.
Yeah, I was on a mission that night, but congratulations to SS Joba. What a great win. That Friday night series and that CTS physics is that's with the drawing distance and the pull that the gears and the setups have on those cars. That's a you would think the big horsepower cars would be the harder of the two, but with the way those CTS physics draft and the way they won't draft if you get out of line, it adds a complete different element to super speedway racing. And again, that is a tough series to pull a victory off in. And congratulations to SS Joba, our good friend, fellow admin, longtime member, longtime supporter, and just great to see him pull that 56 car into victory lane. That was a very popular win, and congratulations to him.
Yes, great job, Joba.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't the. Don't fool yourself. That's really not no big surprise to see the 56 car pull into victory lane, because that guy is a hell of a racer. He's a great. He's a great crew chief. I mean, he's always there willing to help people. He's share any advice on setups. He's a great setup builder. I mean, he's all around great sim racer. And so it's really no surprise to see that 56 car with the checkered flag.
Yes, I gave Brian Wills and Josh a well of a shot at the end of that race. If Josh could have hung on to it and not got sideways, I think I'd have pushed him out past him.
And I tell you what, that Brian Voiles, he's on a part-time schedule, because he's out actually working hard at Voiles Trucking to forward his business and be a part of the sponsorship deal that we have and everything like that. But man, what a great race that he had. I think he had some unfortunate things happen to him, but he was a front runner all night, and a good run by Brian. It was good to see him out there competing.
Yeah, me and Brian are kind of the same. We just don't have no dancing partners, eh, Brian?
Yeah, that's exactly right. A little bit of help every once in a while, especially at the super speedway, goes a long ways.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. I agree, buddy. One of these days they'll help us out.
Well, I'll tell both of y'all, the friends you make off the track will be the friends you make on the track. So maybe y'all need to work on your all off track uh program a little bit to maybe try to recruit a little bit of help or be
Yeah,
a little
well, that's
friendlier to
hey,
people
hey,
or
buddy,
you
we
know.
got a plan. We got a plan though. Me and Hot Rod, we got it figured out.
Well, that's good that you're thinking about it. I'm just making suggestions of ways to
Hey,
improve your on track performance based on your off track performance.
we were there at the end, right, Brian? We were there.
That's right.
They,
We were
they
there.
couldn't get rid of us, that's for sure.
Well, you know as well as I do in super speedway racing, you can be there 1 minute and be gone the next. And that, like I said, that's a
That's
tough,
right.
tough, that's a
That's
tough, tough
absolutely
race,
right.
tough race to, you got to you got to run every lap of it just like it's the last. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Everybody that knows super speedway racing knows how that goes. And just being able to be mentioned in a race like that is a certain form of success. So y'all were there. We're talking about you. So that's something to consider.
That's right. You know how it goes, pockets. You got help 1 second, and next second you don't because they got other places to go. You know what I mean? That's just part of it.
Absolutely. That's just like I had told somebody in the race there earlier. I think in that Thursday night race, Rick Craddock, he took a little issue with me hanging him out to dry. And I told him, I said, "You're playing checkers. I'm playing chess. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do at super speedway racing. I mean, you've got to be willing to be friends with somebody, but you got to be willing to cut your best friend's throat when it comes down to that last lap. And that's the one thing that but I will say this: a lot of people have the understanding of if you, depending on who you're running with, if you stay with them this time, they will repay you. And the majority of this group of racers are always willing to understand that major factor of super speedway racing is that they'll stay with you and settle for a second in hopes that you'll stay with them the next time it's your chance to win. And that is a big part of it. And a lot of that,
That's
oh,
absolutely, yep. That's the biggest part of it right there. You got to surrender a lot to win one. That's the whole key right there, pockets.
yeah, because I can guarantee you that 56 looked in his mirror at who was behind him when he crossed the start finish line. And I know the next time he's going to remember that. So that's why, sometimes you don't mind finishing second because you, you're willing to give that to be able to get what you need the next time you're in that situation. So that's what good super speedway racing is all about right there.
That's right. That's why I dropped down to the line Brian was in to help him out. I know somewhere along the line Brian will pay it back. That's no big deal. Even though we didn't win, you know what I mean. Help is help. It don't matter when you get it, where it comes from.
Absolutely. Bill, did you fall asleep? Hello?
Apparently.
He
Yeah,
will fall asleep on you.
he switched the standings. I see that.
Mike working? Come in.
Maybe he had to run to the facilities.
Paging Duck Butter Jones. Please report to the spotter stand. Oh, these awkward moments of silence aren't good.
Wait, he kicked out his headset. It's not coming back.
Got his headset and it's not
We're
coming
supposed
back.
to,
All
Ryan.
right,
We're supposed to
the
watch
standings
and
are
go
right
with
there.
it.
The standings are right there. I'm leading, 7 up on Terry Scott, 15 up on Brain Fade. Fifth is Hot Rod, minus 24, and Pockets at minus 29. And there's Brain Fade right there. He's a couple spots ahead of you this time.
Yep,
What I
yep.
said?
That point hit he took Friday night hurt him and moved him back 2 spots. So
Yep, I had the opportunity to capitalize on that one little mistake, and there's Brain Fade to capitalize on it, and I'm going to tell you, I know Brain Fade. I've raced with him for years. That's going to continue all the way through till the checkered flag flies down in Miami. and we wrap this whole thing up, I'm going to be contending with him as well as others to try to either hold my spot, advance my spot, try to keep from losing position. So that's what racing's all about. I mean, there's a lot of quality, talented drivers in this deal, and so it's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun.
Texan's back pretty far in this one. I wonder why he's back so far in this one.
I think he may have had some. He's had his share of misfortune in some of these races, so that's probably got something to do with it. But like I said, like I said last week, these are preliminary, basically preliminary races on the way to the last 10 races of the chase. Now, make no mistake about it, these are serious races, and you need to get all you can at every race, just if for nothing else, to see how you're going to stack up at some of these tracks that we're going to return to in the chase. But these are preliminarily races that are leading up to the last 10 races of the chase, when we really get down to business. Like I said, there's no excuses. You have nothing to fall back on but your abilities, and luck is going to be a factor in everything that we do. And this is the pressure is building towards the last 10 races, and everybody's looking at these points and everything to see how they stack up, because this is a gauge of who are you going to have to beat, or who are you going to have to keep from beating you in those last 10 races of the chase.
So he says bad luck. I wonder if his bad luck's rotating into the production part of the spotter stand, and it'll improve on the track.
Probably
Yeah,
so. Probably so. So
anyway, he switched to the dirt series for a reason.
Yeah, we were up in the dirt though, so I guess he's trying to move us along, Pockets. That's
well, yeah. So what's coming up next Friday in the dirt? Once again,
Devil's Bowl again. We will be back next Friday night.
Back to the madness in Mesquite, and the Voyles Truck and Friday Night Dirt Series next Friday night. That was going to be, what is that, race number 5 in that series coming up, Larry? Race number 4 in that series coming up. So wonder if Texan can throw us up some points in the. Oh, he's moving us to the Saturday night series again, where we were off this weekend. And we were off this whole weekend because we did consider it the holiday weekend. And I was fortunate enough this weekend to be able to go to my 35th class reunion. I want to give a big hello to all my fellow BB Badgers that I got to see for my 35th year class reunion. A lot of great people I haven't seen in a long time. It was an absolutely outstanding time. Proud to be a Badger, BB High School, 1983 graduate. And that was one of the things that I got to enjoy doing, because
Connected.
sim racing keeps us very, very busy on a weekly basis with all the things that we do, and our dedication to our sponsor, Drunken Cow Jerky, and all of our racers and everything that we do here keeps us busy. So it was a great time for me to get out, go into the great outdoors, see some great friends, do some things I haven't done in a while. Got to ride in the boats with my friends on Greer's Ferry Lake there in north central Arkansas, and just had a great time at my 35th class reunion. And was it's a very rare opportunity that the weekend presented itself that I could get out and do something different. And I had a good time, and just wanted to say hi to everybody and tell everybody how much fun I had, and it was a joy to see everybody.
I see Duck Butt is back.
Yes, can he talk? Nope, still not working.
His headset is probably out in his yard right now.
Probably.
So
let's see. He has the team thing up with all the members to which team they're on.
Yeah, the Saturday Night Team Series resumes this Saturday night. Just like it always does. We're in the middle of season 35, so we'll be returning back to the Saturday Night Team Series this coming Saturday night. and also the Voiles Truck and Speedway Series. Uh, the schedule may still be on a short hiatus. I'm not sure. We'll have some announcements later this week to see what's going on. We've still got people out on vacation. This.
Yes, I believe it's still going to be off for the next 2 weeks at least, Pockets.
Yes, because this is the middle of summer. This is where people go out and go on vacation with their families and stuff. We've had a couple of people out on vacation and stuff like that. So, due to them being current in the points and stuff like that, it's easier for us to just adjust the schedule, let people have some time off. The people that support the Voiles Trucking Saturday Night Speedway Series, we want to give them time to spend with their family and their friends and do some things outside of racing due to their dedication and the dedication that it takes to be current in these points in these series is pretty strong. So we enjoy giving them the time that they need. And in a series like the Voiles Truck and Speedway Series, we can afford to move the schedule around, postpone a race here or there, out of just nothing but respect for the people who support those series. So we will be coming back to the Voiles Truck and Speedway Series here in the next week or two. So just stay tuned, and we'll keep you up to date of what we got going on that deal. That's the late night series that runs after our Saturday night Speedway, our Saturday night team series race. And thanks to Brian and Kathy for all they do. That's their kind of their baby that they do and sponsor for us on Saturday night, just to give us a little bit extra racing to do. So we'll be back to that here shortly. All right, Texan, you just switch the scene and we'll talk about whatever you put up there.
And the team series this week will be headed to Daytona.
Yep.
As
Back
Gene
to
switches the
Daytona.
scene, yeah.
Bonus points truck, no change. Now there he is on the bonus points. These are the bonus points we were talking about that everybody carries with them into the last 10 races of the series, the chase. These are the bonus points. He says there's no change in the truck bonus points for this week, so we'll head to
That's right.
Kentucky and everybody will fight hard for that very valuable bonus point for winning a race. You get the bonus point if you show up for enough races. So we'll head to Kentucky to see, and we'll look at it next week here on the spotter stand to see how that goes.
Yes, the Xfinity SS gets a win.
Yep, SS Joba shows up on the board.
In there.
Yep, shows up on the board for the chase bonus points. So that'll be a big factor right there. He puts himself in, throws his hat in the ring with the contenders for the championship on Friday night. So what else you got for us, Texan? 12 people total. 12 wins. Is that what that is?
No, puts him at 12 points.
Oh, 12 points.
Bonus points total. Yep. I believe that's tied with me. No, one ahead of me.
12 points for SS. That's some good numbers to be stacking up there. And he's got one cup win. That's
Texan gets the cup win bonus point.
Yep.
I just didn't switch yet. I think that's what he's typing. Yes, he moves up to Mr.
User in your
Looney.
channel timed out.
Texan ties with Steve Looney in the bonus points. So there you go. Well, we'll see how that shakes out after next week's race at Kentucky, because that's the thing about it. Every week these points move around, shake around, risers, fallers, the whole 9 yards. We'll have it all right here for you.
He's putting up the sponsors.
All right, he's putting up the sponsors. So that means we're about done here on the spotter stand until next Sunday, when we come back and give you all the highlights and the news and the updates of what we've done, what we're going to do. We appreciate everybody being here, watching us, supporting us. We really appreciate our sponsors, because without them, we could not do what we do. We would not have nowhere near the support and the prizes and to offer the people that come and support our series. And we thank not only our sponsors, but our drivers and our racers and their families who deal with the hobby that we all love, and we're just thankful for everybody, and this big train at Bomb Squad Racing keeps rolling through the regular scheduled races every week. So we'll be here. Come see us. Thanks to Mark Heyman, Richard Heyman, all the fine folks down in Dallas, Texas. Visit drunkencowjerky.com for the finest craft-made, award-winning whiskey and beer-soaked beef jerky on the planet. What y'all got?
Nothing.
Crickets.
We covered everything.
Crickets. Crickets. Chevy's got crickets. Thanks for stepping in there, Chevy. Glad to see you with us. Brian Voiles from Voiles Trucking. Thanks for being here. The Foot Doctor, our man, Duck Butter Jones, BSR Texan. I'm Big Panda, BSR Pockets. Thanks for being here. We'll see y'all next week. We're out. Holla.
See ya.
Sound